Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 4 viewer submitted levels, so in this part I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 more viewer submitted levels, starting out with this one. SCWN-012 Dig Man by Jethawk74, with 5 plays and a score of 0. As always, if you want whatever levels to be featured in a part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comments section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, a full disclaimer, this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels that cover these parts, so if you want to check out what levels covered, expand the description. So we have a choice of playing as Mega Man, Proto Man, or Bass. For the last set of Jethawk levels, I've been playing as either Bass or Proto Man, so let's play as classic Mega Man for a change, especially with his charge shot. Well, I understand why it's called Dig Man, because we need to dig through all of these junk blocks. And just like most of Jethawk's levels, I will be heavily utilizing special weapons. And I spy an E-Tank over there. I'm definitely going for it. I mean, it's super easy. It's not like I'll hit my head against the spikes. I mean, there's enough quicksand to stop me anyway. So that was a really easy E-Tank. Once again, utilizing the ladders as a substitute for smaller doors. Okay, so we can't use the brick drop over here. So instead, just use the drill bomb. Yeah, I knew there was going to be a flybow over there. I saw it fall earlier. I guess they're being dropped down this trash chute. Good checkpoint placement as always. 3 choices. Let's take the leftmost ladder. At least half the time, there seems to be more collectibles on the left side and... Okay, I instantly dive over there for some reason. Hopefully that wasn't intended by the author there. Okay, so it was intended, there were spikes over there. I'm not sure how to feel about that, with off-screen death spikes. At least there's a checkpoint nearby and you have infinite lives. If this wasn't an actual Mega Man Classic game, that would be kind of jerkish because you had a limited set of lives. More of these flyboys, but now we're going downwards. As always, great checkpoint placement, placed evenly around 10 to 12 screens apart. and even these take tentos are mostly not a problem. It also seems that these super arrows come out a bit faster in comparison to something like Magmal 2, where there is a slight higher delay of activation time before it starts racing to the right. Wow, the drill bombs just two-shot those big eyes. Let me double check though. Never mind, it was four-shotting. And I guess that's the end of this level. Pretty neat level overall, though I'd say it's more forgettable in comparison to Airstrike Man and Doja Man. The aesthetics and music choice are nice though. And the junk ball gimmick is utilized pretty well, as the flyboys being dropped in chutes. It's probably Drill Bomb. Nope, different bomb. Okay, Skull Barrier. That was a rather easy boss fight, but then again, Stone Man most of the time is pretty easy, unless the terrain is rather irregular. I liked it, but it was kind of a meh to somewhat like a 5.5 to 6 out of 10. Nonetheless, I'll still give it a thumbs up. Second on the lineup is Slide Glitch by Gamefuchs YouTube with 128 plays and a score of 41. I was going to play another level by Gamefuchs as well, but unfortunately it was removed from the server for some reason. So this is going to be a bug showcase level. I think I know what the slide glitch is. So it seems that if there is a series of ladders just to the left or right of a gap with a 1 block wide and is above a pit, you'll still go forwards, mainly due to ladders. But I suppose this will be fixed in a future revision, and I'm playing this level on version 1.3.6 of Mega Man Maker. Really short, but it showcases the point here. So I guess I will give it a thumbs up because it's a glitch-oriented stage and it showcases the bug in a pretty easy digestible fashion. Third on the lineup is The Ancient Factory by Crono MN with 12 plays and a score of 5. Also, as you may have noticed by the upload date, this was made way back in the original version of Mega Man Maker, version 1.0.0 I suppose. Doesn't look like a factory yet, it seems to take place in a jungle. I guess we're entering through the filtration system or the cooling system. And now we're entering the factory, I suppose. Good checkpoint placement. It's been quite a while since I started this LP series, way back in July. It's quite neat playing these older levels, seeing how they compare with the newer levels, especially in terms of level design. Another good checkpoint placement. So even back then, Crono MN understood good level design of checkpoint placement. There is a bottomless pit down over there, but I'll look over it because there's plenty of time to get used to it. Or react to it, I mean. Not to mention, I have access to things like the magnet beam. Now I guess we're accessing the ceiling of this factory. Oh, I understand the name now. The reason why it's called Ancient and why there was a forest is because this was mostly abandoned and the plants are growing in this place now. Makes sense to me. Just want to be sure over there so I don't fall off the ladder. And I suppose this is the end of the stage. Pretty easy though. And we fight Sparkman with a telly helping him. And we fight Sparkman with the help of a telly spawner. And we fight Sparkman over here with the help of a telly spawn. And we fight Sparkman over here with the help of a telly spawner. And it doesn't seem that he has any weaknesses. So that was the end of the Ancient Factory. It's a sort of par level. Probably could be remade in the latest version of Mega Man Maker to be a more fulfilling stage. Forward on the lineup is All That Glitters Is Skulls by Skullman with 23 plays and a score of 4. From what I remember, this stage focuses on heavy usage of skull type enemies, so Skeleton Joes, Docrons, etc. Really am liking the foreground and background combo we have going. That's also a safe introduction of how the Docrons and Docron spawners work. As well as the Ringman platforms, the ones that recede from left to right. Now combining usage of both. So good traditional level design, first introducing the enemies and gimmicks in safe environments, and slowly putting them in more dangerous situations. If you're fast enough, you can make it up this ladder before the coil platforms recede. Okay, this was a lot easier to get than what I expected initially. Good checkpoint placement, placed after 10 to 12 screens of the introduction. And now we're introducing the Techions, aka the Maces, first in a safe environment so we can observe how they work, and on the next screen it's going to be more difficult. Yeah, combining usage of the ring platforms and the coil platforms. And because the right ladder is more difficult to get to, I suppose there is a secret there. Or is a collectible. Well, that was my fault. I misaimed my charge shot there. No matter, the checkpoint was just 5-6 screens away. Now we're introducing the metal cannons, again in a safe environment first, and now in a more dangerous environment over a bottomless pit. Rats, I didn't jump at the correct time. Let's try this challenge again, shall we? Okay, you just need to be quick on your jumping. That was a fault on my part. This is not that difficult, but this is. Some of these areas are rather precarious, so the stage is definitely getting a bit harder. I would have liked one more checkpoint in that previous segment in the middle, but I guess this is following traditional rules of there being only 2 checkpoints in the stage, one at the middle and one at the end, and this stage was about 25 screens long anyway. You know, fighting Skullman this way is a lot easier, because he always stays up there on the rainbow platform. So that was the end of All That Glitters Is Skulls, a pretty neat stage focusing on the Techions, coil and rainbow platforms, as well as the Dokron spawners. This stage definitely got quite a bit harder near the end. I mean, I died 5 times in that last segment just before the checkpoint, mainly due to the Techions and how fast you need to be on the coil/rainbow platforms. Not to mention I died twice off screen during the boss fight against Skullman, until I learned to place him just on the middle of that ring platform. Nevertheless, I'll still give this a thumbs up. 5th level on the lineup is Okada Hard Mega Man 3 Remix vs Iron Golem Mach 2 by Okada Man, with 7 plays and a score of 2. Judging by the title, I suppose this will be a harder remake version of Hard Man's stage from Mega Man 3, but this time we will be playing as Proto Man, but thankfully he doesn't take double damage. Also, a nice usage of the tile set here in order to make this makeshift teleporter. Yeah, it's definitely a remake version. We have the Wanans, Metars, Metools, the Yambos. Will we also have the Karikaris, aka the minecart enemies? Oh, it's so satisfying to reflect back their pickaxes back at them. Unfortunately, we do not have access to the Proto Coil or Rush Coil. That would be super helpful. Definitely a lot harder because, well, we have bottomless pits already, as well as spike traps. Timing challenges. Gotta be a bit careful here, especially with these spikes. That could have gone really badly if I wasn't careful. Thank you for the checkpoint there. Okay, so we need to ride on top of these rolling drills. Wonderful. Oh, I see. How do I get across, though? Let me reset the room a bit. Oh, that's how. That's a bit too close for my own taste, though. I want to stagger just a little bit so I don't get crushed by the other one. I guess I'll return here once I gain access to the metal blade or something. Oh goody, a lot more gyries. And here's the metal blade. I guess we need it? Yeah, we do need it. Thank you for the checkpoint placement. It's a lot more generous than the original games, I'll tell you that. And I really appreciate it, especially because of how difficult this stage is. The enemies here are a lot more annoying to deal with, especially the picket men. Oh, rats. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen sometime. I know I can jump over it, but I just really feel wary of doing that. Oh no. Okay, I guess we're going to the left then. But I do need access to the drill bomb before I can move forward. So that's how we get it. But now we need to jump on top of that one again. Well, this is certainly a neat design principle, I will give it that. And the way back isn't too bad anyway. Remember, this stage assumes that he played Hardman stage before, especially considering the difficulty of the challenges. This feels more like a Fortress stage overall. Well, that was close. Please put a checkpoint here, thank goodness. Thank you for the full refills as well. Ayashiki would be more appropriate here, especially with the infinitely respawning weapon energy and life energy, but that isn't in the engine yet. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Aiming at those is gonna be a slight issue. Then again, I could just fire right through the walls. I probably should have done that instead. Well, this stage was certainly not kidding that it was hard. It is hard. Well, I made it this time, but now we have the coil platforms and spikes on the end. Okay, I half expected that to happen. Good thing I have an explosive weapon for this stage. Making that jump, I need to do a slide jump there, but I'm always wary with these spike hitboxes of this engine. This time I decided to just fall under this footholder. This is one of those stages where I really wish I had a rush utility. There we go, made it this time. Okay, made it. Now I just need to make this jump so I don't need to repeat this segment. Thank you for the checkpoint. That segment was quite annoying, especially with those spikes. This is definitely one of the harder levels I played in the last dozen or so parts. Well, half a dozen, I mean. And I suppose this stage expects you to utilize special weapons, otherwise several of these challenges are really hard to do with the Proto-Buster. This stage would be a lot worse if we were forced to take double damage, so I'm really thankful the level author didn't enable that. Yeah, I'm gonna use my M-Tank right now. I don't trust myself with these challenges. Especially with the swarms of Yambos and the Wanans everywhere. Thank you for the 2 E-Tanks, I'll gladly utilize them during the boss fight. And there's the end of the stage that I need to climb up somehow. And Hardman's gonna make my life miserable, of course. And I got dragged right into the rolling spikes, I see. This is a checkpoint over here, and this encounter is a lot more unique than usual. Oh, and you can freeze me in place as well. That's wonderful. Okay, I need to ride on top of that one. And I can blow up these enemies too. So get over here, get the rolling cutter, and now blow open those boxes. I need to get back on one of them though. Now with that open, oh, okay, I guess I ride up there. So I'm gonna have to do a quick jump, I see. I got locked in place by Hardman. That's the hard part of this fight, and you can get rather unlucky when he does it, and you're forced to die, basically, if you're in front of the rolling drills. At last, after 24 failures, I've completed this stage. Honestly, I find this boss fight to be unique, but I really didn't like it. The main issue I see here is that you can unfortunately get stun locked several times and be forced to take a dad from the rolling drills just slamming into you. Unless you're damage boosting off an enemy, but you have to be lucky to get hit by those tellies. I understand why the tellies are there, so you don't run out of weapon energy. Sixth and final level to part is Spike Adventure Chapter 1 by Dig Man, with 19 plays and a score of -2. If you're wondering why I made this start on this stage, well, just like Dig Man's previously submitted levels, they're just way too hard for me. And I know in advance that I will not be able to complete it. What you need to do here is dash jump through those 2 spikes and then double jump in order to make the gap. But of course, I am never able to do it, so that's why I started immediately in this stage. I'll try a few more times, and after that, I'll just go over to the level editor and showcase the rest of the stage. Okay, I made it this time. That's really lucky. This is a lot farther than where I got in Dig Man's previous stages, for sure. Yeah, I wish there was a... Oh, never mind, I actually hit the checkpoint on the same frame that I died. Okay, I totally didn't expect to get to this boss fight. The only problem though is that Skullman takes normal damage from the Buster. Not to mention there's all these firebar guards. But overall I didn't expect to make it to the boss fight, especially considering Dig Man's previous levels. Somehow I made the jump and the rest of the stage is a lot easier from there on. And this stage isn't that long either. So overall, out of the 6 levels I played in this part, my favorite level would definitely be All That Glitters Is Skulls by Skullman. So in the next part, I'll be covering several random levels from the random queue, or by using the random selection option several times. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!